A Wonderkid is a young footballer under 21 who shows world-class potential. Players like Desiree Doué, Lamine Yamal, and so much more. But I'm curious, what if I built an entire team of Wonderkids and took over for 10 seasons? Could they win 30 trophies and become the greatest team of all time? And the team I will be taking over is Ajax FC, and I'm putting them in La Liga too, as Ajax have produced some of the best Wonderkids. And for the transfer rules in this takeover, we are allowed to sign anybody who was 21 at the start of season 1, and they must have plus 83 potential. That's what a Wonderkid is, in my opinion. But currently, this is the Ajax side that we have taken over, and we actually do have a couple Wonderkids in this team. We got the likes of Mika Götze, a Belgian left winger, Oscar Gloku, the young attacking midfielder, as well as Dorothy Mokio, who can play plenty of positions. However, not only do we have to go ahead and try to win 30 trophies, we will also have 5 different challenges, and every time we complete one, we will unlock the top 5 best Wonderkids in FC26 and sign them for absolutely free. But as of right now, we only have 5 million to go ahead and build a team full of Wonderkids, meaning we're gonna have to go ahead and sell majority of our team. So I've gone ahead and sold majority of our squad. We have made so much money from all these sales, as we now have 100 million to spend on multiple Wonderkids. But before we sign our first one of the challenges we have to complete is to go ahead and win our first trophy to unlock a top 5 Wonderkid. And currently, this is our starting 11. Everyone is actually under 21 years old, but obviously only 3 players are Wonderkids here, and Oscar Gloku, Mika Götze, and Mokio. So let's go ahead and sign like 8 more players at least. So I've gone ahead and made an 8-man shortlist to go ahead and complete our starting 11. So for 10 million, the first Wonderkid I bring in is for Tyler Dibbling. And as a 74 rated, Tyler Dibbling joins aside. Another challenge we have to complete is to go ahead and win the Ballon d'Or to unlock another Wonderkid. Maybe Dibbling can help us out with that. But of course, I went ahead and made more signings by bringing in Yassine Oskan for 2.5 million, Chris Rigg for 5 million, Alex Toth for 2.7 million, Taras Mikako for 3 million, Kirani Sabe for 10 million, and finally Jonas Urbik for 10 million as well. And so this is what the brand new side is looking like, as we have 10 players in our starting 11 that are Wonderkids, as we're still missing a striker. But before we sign that striker, another challenge we have to go ahead and complete is to have one of our players win the Golden Boot in a top division. So hopefully once we reach La Liga, the striker that we sign, or Dibbling or Götze, can go ahead and win the Golden Boot. And of course, for the striker position, we have plenty of options, like the likes of Matthias Tell, Samu, or even Endrick. The question is, who am I gonna sign? Well, the reality is, I'm not signing either of those 3 players. And that is because unexpected events as well as players wanting to leave. If we sign someone like Endrick right now, in one season, he can end up going back to Real Madrid, and it was basically just a waste of money. So instead, for 4 million, I've signed Francesco Camarda, who is one of the youngest ever players to play in the Serie A. As our second to last challenge is to go ahead and get a striker to a 92 overall. And as Camarda is the final piece to our starting 11, we now have a full starting 11 of Wonderkids, and we can get started with this 10 season takeover. And of course, I did hire the best coaches that I can as of right now, as it's very important to the growth and winning our 30 trophies. As our final challenge is to go ahead and get a top goal scorer in the Champions League one day. And now with all those 5 challenges revealed, a reminder, every challenge we complete, we will unlock a top 5 Wonderkid on a free. And boys, we have gotten our first unexpected event. An audit of your club finances has been uncovered. 31 million of your transfer budget has been taken away. I hope that doesn't affect us in the near future when we're in La Liga competing for the Champions League and we can sign the best Wonderkids. And once again, we get an unexpected event, and it is a homesick player in Mikavko. But this is the exact reason why I didn't sign the world's best Wonderkids off rip. And it's another homesick player. What is with these unexpected events? As same reason, Alex Toth is also homesick. It looks like our first season went pretty well, as Mika Götze got 21 and 10, 18 and 8 for Tyler Dibbling, and 13 and 12 for Oscar Gloku. Our attack is cooking so far. However, the news gets worse, as Mika Götze has submitted a transfer request. And as you can see, he's not upset about his contract. He just wants to leave to a bigger side. But regardless, the growth of our team is looking incredible. Oscar Gloku, Tyler Dibbling, and Urbik are almost at an 80 overall, while our entire defense is all above a 72 overall. But did we win our first trophy and promote to La Liga? And yes, boys, we have done it. We're promoted to La Liga, also winning our first trophy, completing our first challenge, and in the brand new season, we'll be getting a free top 5 Wonderkid. However, we couldn't make it 2 trophies as we failed to win the Copa de España. And speaking about trophies, of course, we want Wonderkids FC to be become the greatest team of all time by winning 30 trophies. However, that's going to be nearly impossible as winning 30 trophies is a gold tier club. But you know what? If we win 20 trophies, we'll be a silver tier club. But if we win 15, we'd still be a bronze tier. My goal is to try and win 30, but as long as we get into bronze, silver, or gold, it'd be a successful takeover. And to kick off season number 2, the player we have gotten for free is Dean Huijsen, one of the best Wonderkids in FC 26. And to be honest, that was the easiest challenge. We still have 4 challenges left to lock the next 4 top Wonderkids. Now that Dean Huijsen has joined the side, sadly, Mika Gotts has left to Tottenham Hotspur for 45 million, meaning this is exactly what our team is looking like. But thanks to that sale, we now have 60 million to spend in our first La Liga season, and I definitely think we need to improve that other center back position. Definitely get another striker because Francesco did not grow enough, and of course a brand new left winger and maybe a center mid if we have the money left. So straight away I got to work. For 13.6 million we brought in Finn Yoch, a 75 rated center back. For 13 million we brought in Joaquin Seis, a 75 rated left back, and for 9 million we brought in Mark Yui, the Spanish striker from Chelsea. If you guys think Yui will win the Golden Boot, subscribe down below. And as the brand new signings join the lineup, it's gonna be very interesting because Mark Yui is the brand new striker. If he can go ahead and win the Golden Boot in La Liga, we will unlock our next top 5 Wonderkid. But of course, we're still missing to sign that left winger to replace Gotts. So with 21 million left, I looked around the transfer market and found 3 very exciting wingers. The first 2 wingers I found is Mikey Moore and Ruben van Bommel, the son of the Dutch legend. However, the third option I found is the most exciting in Rio and Gamoa. He may still only be a 73 overall, but he does have the highest potential of the 3. So the question is, what should I go ahead and prioritize? And the decision I made for 8 million is to go ahead and sign Rio and Gamoa. Yes, he is the lowest rated. However, with the high potential he does have, he can go ahead and win the Ballon d'Or to unlock another Wonderkid, or even reach that 92 overall, completing 2 challenges. And this is what the brand new starting 11 is looking like. It's looking pretty decent. However, he might struggle to stay up, but Dean Huijsen might be the reason we don't relegate to La Liga 2. And straight away, we get our first unexpected event, and it's Rio and Gamoa. He is homesick, and it's back-to-back homesick players with Jelch. Like I said before, I don't want anybody leaving. And at the end of the season, it's not looking too bad. 16 goals for Mark Yui. Is that enough for the Golden Boot win? 9-4 for Tyler Dibbling, 7-4 for Alex Todd, and 5-1 for Rio and Gamoa is not too bad. However, there is some bad news as Jordi Mokio has submitted a transfer request, our backup left back, as well as our starting center back in Finn Yoch, who was homesick earlier, wants to leave the club at the start of the season. But regardless, our team is starting to look incredible. Tyler Dibbling is now at an 83 overall, while Oscar Gloku is an 82. But unfortunately, Mark Yui was not the top goal scorer. However, he did sit in 8th place, so he's not too far from unlocking another Wonderkid. And you know what? 11th is a great season. Our first season in La Liga. We did not relegate and we were nowhere near it. I will take that. But of course, 2 seasons in, we still have 1 trophy, not even close to bronze tier. And to kick off season number 3, we have 30 million to spend, which is not a lot. But of course, we still have to go ahead and sell Jordi Mokio and Finn Yoch. So sell these players is exactly what I did, as Mokio is going to Dortmund for 10 million, which sucks because he has some of the highest potential in the game. And Finn Yoch has gone back to Germany for 27.9 million. And that now leaves us with 62 million to spend to improve our side. And I can't lie, as of right now, our team is looking pretty good, but of course, we could make some improvements. I would love to sign another center back closer to an 80 overall, and maybe a striker that is exactly the same overall as Gui to go ahead and compete with him, as well as that center mid, as Chris Riggs' growth has been extremely slow. And so the first signing I made for only 30 million was Lenny Euro, who's an 81 overall. That was a huge steal, man. But of course, I did say I want to sign another striker to compete with Mark Gui. And the 3 options I do have is Krupi from Bournemouth, we have Conrad Harder, who's playing for Leipzig, and finally we have Kano Zoon, who's been the replacement for Hugo Ekitike back at Frankfurt. And my decision has been made. For 25 million, I am signing Chano Zoon. And like I mentioned before, I know Mark Gui had a great season, but the more competition we have leads us to more challenges being completed, allowing us to unlock the likes of Endrick and Lamine Yamal. And now our starting 11 is really starting to look like an upper end La Liga side. And unfortunately, we did not have enough money to sign a replacement for Chris Rigg. And as per usual, we get another homesick player, and it's our new signing, Lenny Euro. We're of course gonna go ahead and help him settle, but let's just hope that he doesn't leave the side eventually. trophy. And currently halfway through the season, things are looking splendid as we're sitting in 5th place, only 2 points off the top 4. However, I do have some bad news as Lenny Euro, only 6 months into his contract, has said he wants to pursue a new challenge. I'm assuming it's because he's homesick. So for a second time in a row, we're losing another Wonderkid center back. Man, I need to fix this problem. And boys, I think I found the solution. Here I have shortlisted 4 different players that could play center back. However, they are all Spanish. So if I get one of these center backs and they say they're homesick, I know it's just BS. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get one of them, specifically Mosquera. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough money plus Lenny Euro to go ahead and get him. And the great news is we were able to sell Lenny Euro to Real Madrid for 40 million. Yeah, he was totally homesick. And that means we were able to bring in Mosquera for 35 million as he leaves Arsenal to come back to Spain. So as Mosquera joins the lineup, it's a minuscule downgrade. I just hope we stop losing players, specifically center backs. And this time around, Rio Ngumoa was the top goal scorer, 22-7. Ozun with 14-5, a brilliant first season. 13-10 for Oscar Gloku. But this is what the team is looking like as Tyler Dibling is an 86 overall, only behind Dean Huijsen when it comes to the highest rated players. And yes, boys, we have drastically improved, finishing in 6th place, meaning we have qualified for the Conference League. And that gives us a huge chance to win our 2nd trophy. And of course, we did not win the Copa de España as we did get knocked out in the round of 16. One day, we'll be winning this trophy. But no, boys, we do not get the Golden Boot winner as Vinny wins it. However, Rio Ngumoa was in 4th place. We're getting much closer to unlocking that next Wonderkid. And as we arrive to season number 4 for the first time in a long time, nobody wants to leave the club. And boys, with 100 million to spend, we can absolutely upgrade this side to the next level to start winning trophies and qualify for the Champions League. In terms of improvements, we definitely finally need to bring in that center mid, maybe even 2 center mids at that, as Chris Rigg and Toth aren't the highest rated. And also, as I mentioned, that goalkeeping position as Urbig is really going stale. So straight away, I made my midfield signings. For 20 million, I brought in an 80 overall Mark Bernal, and for a very cheap 40 million, we have brought in an 84 rated Lucas Bergvall. And boys, when it comes to goalkeepers, we don't have many options as we only have 3. We have Guillaume Retzes, who's already at an 84 overall, and we also have Matthew Epolo and Owusu Oduro. But the question is, Jonas Urbig is an 83 overall. Should we get Retzes, who is higher overall than him? Or should we get somebody a little bit lower to be his backup? And for our final 40 million, I went ahead and went for Retzes. Because if we ever want to get into the GOAT tier and win 30 trophies, we need to be harsh with our players and sign the best players we can. And I can't lie, boys, our team is looking absolutely insane. I think this is the season we start winning trophies. And it'll be great to start out by winning the Conference League, as well as trying to complete that Golden Boot challenge. And yes, we have reached the Europa League final. Turns out we got Europa League and we're facing Man United. And this is the current Man United side. I can't lie, it's looking pretty decent. They also haven't lost in their last 4 games. Can we go ahead and win our 2nd trophy? It's been 4 seasons and we still have 1 trophy and we won 30. Come on, we have to win this game, and it's a 2-1 victory as Dibling and Rio give us our 2nd trophy. Getting much closer to our 1st tier, man. But the season has come to an end, and this is interesting. We have 4 different players that have 15 plus goals in all competitions. That means there's a chance somebody won the Golden Boot. But the rest of the side look pretty decent when it comes to their stats this season. And man, this team just continues to improve. Dean Huijsen is our first player to reach a 90 overall. We need to make sure he doesn't leave. Tyler Dibling is 1 overall away and joining him, while Oscar Gloku is also doing incredible. While everybody else in the team, no one is lower rated than an 83 overall. And no, boys, it wasn't to be as Mbappe wins the Golden Boot. Ozun is in 5th place. Are we ever gonna complete another challenge and get another Wonderkid? But regardless, we do finish in 5th place, but thanks to that Europa League win, we're going to the Champions League. And in terms of the Copa de España, we do not win it again, as this time we got knocked out in the round of 32. And now going into season number 5, we only have 2 trophies. That's extremely worrying, man. And we are now in season number 5, and it's very clear what the issue is. As good as Ozun has been, he's not scoring enough goals to win us trophies and complete a challenge. So I think it's time to sign a superstar striker. However, boys, I've discovered something incredible. Francesco Camarda has been out on loan ever since we took him out, and he is now at an 88 overall. We don't need to sign a striker. He is gonna be starting from now on. So that means we now have 127 million just to improve the team. And to be honest, I do not want to touch the starting 11. They're absolutely incredible and continue to grow. But I definitely think we need to go ahead and improve our squad depth, specifically backups for Dibbling and Ngumoa. And boys, I have found the two perfect backups to our wingers in Duranville and Asana Diao, as they both have 12 months left on their contracts. So for 43 million, we have brought in Julian Duranville, and for 60 million, we bring in Asan Diao. And now this side is definitely looking like a Champions League team. Now with Camarda back in the lineup at an 88, surely we should be able to win multiple trophies and maybe our first league title and our first Champions League. But before we go to the end of the season, we're of course in the UEFA Super Cup final. The chance to win another trophy is behind this team, probably the best team in this takeover as of right now. But the question is, can we go ahead and beat the Champions League winners of last season? And it's a 2-1 victory. As Diao and Camarda get the goal, I knew he'd be a difference maker. So we go ahead and win our third trophy. Let's see if we win more by the end of the season. And the news gets even better as we're in the Copa de España final. Already Camarda coming back has changed our football club. But the question is, can we win our second trophy of the season up against Real Betis? And it's a 4-0 victory as Hoysen, Bergvall, Diblin, and Camarda again give us another trophy. And once again, things are looking promising as Rio and Gumoa has 33 and 14 and Camarda has 30 and 2. There's a chance to complete 2 different challenges in the top goal scorer in La Liga as well as in the Champions League. And boys, we were so close to having a 92 overall attacker to match our 9 to unlock another Wonderkid, as our front 3 are all at a 90 overall. But Oscar Gloku is at a 91 while Dean Hoysen is actually that 92 overall. And the rest of the team is just looking incredible. And yes, we have finally done it, and Gumoa wins the La Liga Golden Boot, which unlocks another Wonderkid at the start of the new season. But what about in the Champions League? Did somebody win it as well? And no, we did not, as Camarda was sitting in 6th place, so not far to completing that one. But yes, we have won our first La Liga trophy. That's our 3rd trophy of the season. But did we somehow go ahead and win the Champions League? And no, we did not even reach the final, as we got knocked out in the round of 16. But the good news is we now have 5 trophies, 10 away from that bronze tier, and it's still possible to get to that gold tier in 30. And of course, we also completed another challenge in the La Liga top goal scorer. A new Wonderkid is about to be unlocked. And to kick off season number 6, the Wonderkid we have gotten for free is 90 overall Joao Neves, the best Wonderkid when it comes to midfielders in this game. And surely with Joao Neves on the side, we should continue to win trophies. And as Joao Neves joins the starting 11, we do have 130 million to improve our side. I think at this rate, I'm gonna be signing 1 player per season. And I think the position that needs to be is center back. Mosquera has been incredible, but there has to be somebody better. So I looked around the market and I found 3 different center backs that are bigger Wonderkids than Mosquera. And that is Paul Kubarsi, Jorel Hato, and our ex-player in Jordi Mocchio, who's been killing it at Sevilla. And the player I decided to go for only 80 million. I am bringing in Paul Kubarsi, and I chose him for 2 reasons. 1, he had 12 months left on his contract, and 2, he is Spanish, so there will be no nonsense of homesickness. And now that we have the best center back pairing in world football, surely this season we should continue to win trophies, get an attacker to a 92 overall, and hopefully get a Champions League top goal scorer to unlock 2 Wonderkids in total. And it's another extraordinary season. 35 and 15 for Dibbling, 35 and 7 for Camarada, and 23 and 20 for Ngumoa, while Gloku, Bernal, and Joao Neves had pretty great seasons. And yes, boys, Rio and Ngumoa has done it, a 92 overall, completing that challenge, so a new Wonderkid will be unlocked in the brand new season. However, he isn't the only one, as Camarda, Dibbling, Gloku, Neves, and Bernal are all at a 91. And this time around, we don't get a La Liga top goal scorer, but that challenge is completed. Did we finally do it in the Champions League? And we go up, and no, Osimhen is a top goal scorer, as Camarda was our closest one, sitting in 14th place. Maybe next season will be the time. Regardless, we win La Liga, and we also win the Spanish Super Cup. That's 2 trophies, and make that 3 with the Copa de España. We won on penalties. If we win the Champions League, we can win 4 trophies plus the treble. But the question is, did we go ahead and win the Champions? And no, we didn't. It's PSG versus Madrid, as this time we got knocked out in the semis. We're getting close to winning our first UCL. So now with 4 seasons to go, we have 8 trophies. Getting to the gold tier isn't very likely, but who knows what can happen, as we have 2 challenges left to complete: the UCL top goal scorer and of course a Ballon d'Or winner. And boys, in season number 7, the Wonderkid that's been unlocked is 91 overall Desiree Doué. I'm gonna be honest, I love that he's here at the club, but I have no idea where he fits into the starting 11. And yes, boys, this is an actual problem as Due could play anywhere in the front line and in that cam position. But of course, we have Captain Gloku and Gumoa and Dibbling. I think what I will do is keep him on the bench and see whose place he ends up taking. And in terms of signings this season, I don't think we need any, man. Our team is absolutely perfect. Let's just continue to win more trophies. And it seems like this year it was a bit slower as Camarda had 31 and 11, Dibbling still had 23 and 9, and then Gumoa had 22 and 15. But where is Desiree Doué? Did he even get any game time? 19 appearances, 1 goal and 2 assists. We're really wasting him here at Ajax. But regardless, we still have the best team in world football as Rio and Gumoa is now at a 93 overall. And we're only missing one player to get to a 90, and our full squad will be the world's best players. But sadly, this year we failed to win La Liga, but we did in fact win the Supercopa again, as well as the Copa de España. 2 more trophies, I believe. That's 10. But the question is, did we reach the Champions League final? And yes, we have. For the first time, we'll be facing Newcastle in the UCL final. But unfortunately, nobody is the top goal scorer, meaning that Wonderkid is still yet to be unlocked. And to be honest, this Newcastle side doesn't look too bad other than Arda Güler, but they do have 3 wins in their last 5 matches. But the question is, can we get our first Champions League win, which could lead to a Ballon d'Or winner? Let's finish the job, and it's a 1-0 victory as Rio and Gumoa wins us our first Champions League. And of course, Rio and Gumoa was gonna win the Ballon d'Or, completing that challenge, unlocking the second to last Wonderkid. But we do now have 11 trophies to our name, 4 to reach the bronze tier, and we still have 3 seasons left to go. And winning a Ballon d'Or has unlocked the world's best Wonderkid in Lamine Yamal, as in season number 8 he's coming in. But of course, we still have one last challenge left to unlock the last Wonderkid and see how many trophies we can win in these last 3 seasons as Yamal joins Ajax. And now that Lamine Yamal is in the team for the first time in this takeover, Dibbling is moving to the bench. Let's go ahead and try to complete our last challenge and just win as many trophies in these last 3 seasons. And Rio and Gumoa is still the best player in our team, 30 goals and 19 assists, while Camarda got 29 and 9, 16 and 6 for Dibbling, and 15 and 5 for Lamine Yamal. This team just gets better and better. Lamine Yamal is at a 98 overall. He's gonna be the first player to hit 99. And we have returned to the top of Spain by winning La Liga. We once again win the Supercopa 3 years running, and it's the same with the Copa España. And we win the UEFA Super Cup, which means we have won 15 trophies, getting to that bronze tier. But the question is, are we in the UCL final? And yes, we are. The chance to win 5 trophies in 1 season. And sadly, we don't get that Golden Boot winner. Camarda was so close, just off by 2 goals. If he scores a double in the final, we would unlock that last Wonderkid. But I can't lie, this City team is looking insane, and they are currently undefeated in the last 5 matches. This is gonna be a difficult match, but we must win this trophy to continue to try and get to GOAT tier. But let's see if we can beat Man City, and it's a 2-1 win as Joao Neves and Camarda only scores 1 goal. If he would have scored 2, we would unlock the last Wonderkid. So now with 2 seasons left, we have 16 trophies. It's no longer possible to get to GOAT tier, but it's still possible to get to silver. And at the end of season number 9, Yamal is a top goal scorer with 32 and 12, 31 and 13 for Camarda, and 28 and 15 for Rio. And Yamal has done it. He's reached a 99 overall. Definitely the best player in world football. While for the first time, our entire starting 11 is at a 90 overall. And we continue to win trophies as we win La Liga by 3 points. Make that 2 trophies with the Supercopa and the Copa de España as well. That's 19 trophies. And boys, we have hit 20 trophies, 5 away from getting into silver tier. And boys, we are in the Champions League final. We could win our 21st trophy. However, if we fail to win this trophy, it will be impossible to get to 25 trophies in the last season. And that is because we would only be in 4 competitions. And boys, Francesco Camarda is so close to winning that Golden Boot. Bayern are not in the final, so all he has to do is score. And we'll get the last Wonderkid in the last season if we don't lose this game. So the question is our takeover gonna end here? We need to win this game no matter what. And it's going to be a 2-0 victory. As Camarda gets the goal, we achieve the last challenge. We get the last Wonderkid for our last season, as we only need 4 trophies to get to silver tier. And now in season number 10, the last Wonderkid, of course, is Endrick, now at a 94 overall. Maybe he's the last piece of the puzzle we need to get to 25 trophies to get this Wonderkid team to a silver tier side. But we've reached the end of the final season as Ngumoa gets 38 and 20, 30 and 15 for Lamine Yamal, 29 and 4 for Carmada. And it seems like Endrick was a second choice striker with 4 appearances. We worked hard just for him to not even play. And this is going to be the final team here. It's been an amazing journey with these Wonder Kids. And of course, we still have a bunch of them in our reserves. But we do win our 22nd trophy. So the question is, will we get to 25? And we failed to win the Supercopa. We remain at 22. And we have failed to win the Copa de España, meaning we can no longer win 25 trophies. But at least we won the Super Cup in the Champions League to make it 24, as Wonderkids FC was a bronze tier club. If you guys enjoyed this video, click on the screen and watch me fix Newcastle United.